The twilight fuels the intoxication. No hesitation. I'm giving into this sweet sensation. I've been good, I've been bad, but this moment is all we really have. So when the night is calling, I pick up the phone. A voice is singing sweetly, you don't have to be alone. Oh, 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 oh. Come with me. Oh, 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 oh. Come with me. what she wants and get what she wants. Pick up the phone. I'll pick up the phone. Get what she wants and get what she wants. stop going back to you. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. I have to stop going back to you. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. To you, to you, to you, back to you. I have to stop going back to you, to you, to you, back to you. I have to stop going back to you, to you, to you, back to you. I have to stop going back to you, to you, to you, back to you. I have to stop going back to you. 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 I like to start going back.
Welcome to your new sanctuary. Run for your fucking life. Watch out, they are coming to find you.
Warning, you're my nemesis. Warning, you're my nemesis. Warning, you're my nemesis. Warning, you're my nemesis.
Hey. Sound guy, I'm trusting you on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Realm Royale, baby. Reforged. I gotta take a second. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thor, your host today, lead designer on Realm Royale Reforged, and I'm joined by the one, the only, Hi-Rez Adam, everybody. Woo.
How is it going, and where are we excited to be here?
Oh, it feels good.
How's it
Like
going?
I said, I gotta take a moment here. It's 2.5 years in the waiting. I'm back, baby. Daddy's home. Drop your socks and grab your box, baby. It's game time. It's a good day to be alive because we are talking about Realm Royale in depth. We're talking about the new patch coming at you guys live after this show. It's going to be live and good to go. And we got a long show, so let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. We are definitely very, very excited to share all the stuff with you guys today. Man, this is going to be great. So we've gone through, and we're changing kind of a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go through and see what you guys think about it.
But before we get into that,
yeah.
let's take a step back before and talk about number one. Who are you? Who is this? Who's this guy on the set with me? Is it Hi-Rez Adam? What are we going here, my friend?
That's what we're going with right now. But yeah, I'm the creative director for Realm Royale.
Oh, creative
Yeah,
director.
sounds awesome.
Sounds spicy.
I get to work with art and design, kind of find the vision of the game. So it's a big thing we try to do now is revisionize, if that's a word, making it up, Realm Royale for you guys. So.
Well, the reason why we're in this chair, and to take a step back here for a second, is we need to highlight two sides of a coin. First and foremost, internally, the Goobsies, the Michaels, the people, the Stews, who push very hard for Realm Royale for the last 2.5 years because they believe something special is here. Then the other side of that coin was you, the community, and gosh dang it, you did it. 2.5 years of, let's say, less than ideal servers. We'll say that. Bad patches, and you guys showed. You guys showed every single day logging in, playing the game. You guys just couldn't be beat. You came back, and then I got the call, like the sign in the air, and be like, Thor, let's try one more time. And
We put out the Thor symbol. light it up.
And we're back, baby. We are back, and we're back in a big way. And today marks the first step. I would say a big step, but a continuous step from us. And so we're excited. So let's, without further ado, let's get into what's changing, why is it changing, where is it changing, and how is it changing, I suppose.
I want to give another shout out to our team in general.
Ooh.
Right? Just sort of say, we're a group of individuals coming together wearing multiple hats trying to make this thing happen. It's been so great working with the team. Everybody is like all hands on deck, jumping in anywhere they possibly can, outside, inside of their roles. Just want to say mega props to everybody. Hopefully we show this off well from all the hard work that's gone into it.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
To piggyback off that, we are a small team, and to set expectations, we are a small team. And but as a player, because I have been in the dev industry before, but to take a step back and look at all the content we've made in the last 3 months, when I tell you it's a small team, I think you guys are gonna be absolutely blown away with the amount of stuff. I know we're teasing you. We're gonna get into it, but I've just been blown away, and it's been a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming at each other to go touch grass, beating on these patch notes, beating on these new weapons, abilities, classes, all that kind of stuff. But I'm proud. At the end of the day, I'm proud. I'm proud to see what my team has gotten to make because without any of them, this wouldn't have been possible. So, and of course, the ODP, and we'll get into that as well. But
yeah, one more thing to reiterate is that we definitely feel like this is a game that's now it's ready to share. It's not ready to be considered done, right? We want the community to be in it, everybody as much as possible. Go have fun and play our game, and see how we can make it our game and your game together moving forward. Like this is such a great and exciting time to just put it out there and be flexible and just make a great fun experience for you guys. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, you mentioned something in past me. It's like it's called Reforged, and that's because we're reforging with you. We're not done yet. Gosh, we know how much work we got to do. But we thought it was time for you guys to open the gates, let you guys in, and now you guys get to scream at us.
Yeah.
About what? Matt, let's get into it.
Let's start with some of the updates here, right? So overview of the changes we got coming out. We had to focus on the pillars to sort of maintain this vision. We wanted some 4 pillars for our game right now. We have armor, classes, our loadout, mastery, talent system, that's one pillar, and then the commitment to the community. So you want to sort of talk about some of those things?
Yeah, old school Realm is back. So starting with armor here, and just overall the theme and thematics of it, we had the impossible task of taking old school Realm Royale, things that old school players remember, whether it was patch 1, patch 2, patch 3, patch 4, and going back and saying, hey, what did we get right back then? What are the things that players that get excited about and love? And then looking to the past for inspiration. And one of those big pillars was armor in general. I think we have a nice little B-roll cut to actually go to the video, to show you guys. For you old school players, you're going to recognize that armor. You're going to recognize that armor. You're going to see those buffs and those powers afforded to you. And we kind of landed back on armor here because for 2 reasons. Number one, it was a knob that we could kind of tune throughout the game. You know, go from green to purple to legendary. As you get better and better armor, you're getting faster, harder, better, stronger, and players really, really like that. And armor obviously turned into ruins, and then we turned it back into armor because that was kind of the feedback that we had, where it was like, hey, we miss armor. We love being able to say you are going to get faster. Your weapon speed, your weapon reload will get faster. Your weapon swap speed, your cooldown reduction, right? And not only does it give it knobs to developers, us, me, to be able to tune the weapons and abilities to the good point, but also it lets you, the player, visually see that, oh yeah, I am getting stronger and my horse is getting faster. And so I think design-wise and from the team, I think a lot of old school players are going to love it. New school players, give it a shot. I'm expecting a Reddit post, 1 or 2 Reddit posts being like, I miss runes. Good news is those gameplay loops will be kind of brought back into the forefront of our game. Lifesteal wasn't afforded to the player in general when it came to armor. However, in Rage, the new warrior ability does have a lifesteal component. So we're looking to bring some of those components of runes back in fun and interesting ways.
Yeah, another thing about armor now, you find them in chests.
Yes.
Right? You can forge them in the forge.
Yes.
You can upgrade them in the forge. So, and they do specific things, and they're maintained. Their rarity is just, they're maintained. What they give you just goes up with rarity.
Yes.
Right? So that's a very clear way to the player to say, this thing does this, got it. I can focus on that to improve my character, my player throughout the match. So that was one thing we wanted to simplify that language back out to the character of what am I picking up here? What is it doing? Yeah. Instead of mixing matching that all throughout a bunch of different abilities or whatever it would be, we try to just focus it in one spot.
For sure. And for players out there wondering, what about my armor rune? I love it. So we actually gave armor per 5 onto the chest piece itself. So you're going to get some armor per 5 and HP 5 as well. So
you want to go over real quick what the armor does? Just real fast?
Yeah, I can do that. So helmet's going to give you cooldown reduction as you remember it. Armor is chest piece is going to give you HP 5 and armor per 5 up to a set rank. Gloves are going to give you swap speed and reload speed, and the booties are going to give you mount speed and movement speed. So
yeah, so those are quite fun. I yes, get the legendaries, please. They're a great time. Awesome, man. So let's see. Moving through from that, we talked about some armor,
and then we're going right into classes.
Yeah, it's going to classes. This is a huge one.
Yes.
Right? It's like, how do you define something for a vision here when we had classes without classes all of a sudden, right? I mean, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah. So again, going back to the little old school cool here, we had 2 visions of Realm Royale, and by we, I definitely not mean me. No. So we had two diametrically opposed ideas of what Realm Royale could be. The old school realm, the early realm, it was classes. It was all about class-based battle royale. Definitely very near and dear to my heart as an old school player. And then you look at what's currently in the game, and that's more of the freedom approach, right? Saying, okay, you see a ability, a weapon on the ground, no matter whose it is, pick it up. Especially with a lot of the classes not being finished, though that freedom allowed you to be able to kind of even out those weak spots with the classes. And so joining the team, you guys were like, Thor, fix this. And I was like, uh-oh. So what we came to, I think, is a very good compromise here. It's the class locking that you remember from the old school realm, but with a little bit of freedom thrown in, and going into what's really called what I've called the treasure chest class design approach. So the idea behind this is that you have your combat abilities and then your iconic movement ability. And this is, again, a call back to old school realm here. So the warriors are heroic leap, the swords, the blinks, and of course the grapple hook. I'm very excited for you guys. That has been a nightmare to code, but we have the grapple hook. We'll get into that. So those are the movement abilities that you remember on those classes. Those can never change. Those are your movement abilities. And again, from a competitive aspect, you want to be able to like see, okay, a warrior's coming out of me. What can the warrior do? And so that's a big part of locking that class movement. You will be able to upgrade it, and you will be able to find better ones, but you will not be able to change it. But that leads us into the combat abilities. So your combat abilities...
Oh, you don't say.
The combat abilities are abilities that you can actually change and rearrange to your liking. Using Hunter as an example, maybe you want to go Flare and Proximity Trap. Maybe you want to go Dodge Roll, and you want to go...
But wait a second. Dodge Roll sounds like a movement ability.
Yeah. Well, it's a combat ability. I don't know what to say.
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, as part of this is like, getting our classes into line with also allowing for customization. More movement-based, versus more ability-based. So, I mean, why don't you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so going back to the class locking aspect of the nature, so we wanted to, kind of say, hey, these are your class abilities. But we do have universal abilities as well, so you will be kind of able to reach out of that pot and be like, oh, maybe I want that sexy Lightfoot potion that you guys put into, and kind of supplement your class loadout here. But again, it's saying, we made a hunter, you go make your hunter. Whether it's this ability, this iconic hunter ability, you go make your fun play style. So again, another call back to old school realm. You will see a little bit of different staging when it comes to equipping your abilities. For current players, that's going to feel a little bit wonky. I know it takes a little bit of time to get that muscle memory kind of Good. But we'll go into specifically when it comes to the classes in a second here, talking about all the changes and choices that we made going into Realm Royale Reforged, but I feel like this is the right choice. And again, so much of what the original patch was supposed to be a foundation patch, right?
Yes.
What is the foundation? Yes. What is the template going forward for more classes, more abilities? Let's get the basics right here. Let's get the basics right. So that meant pruning in some cases, and you'll see that in a second. That meant finding what the metas are currently, the toxic metas of Flare and Vision, Soul Gust, Skolo Chaos. Those are being vaulted. Those have been toxic for the last 2.5 years now. But so it's back to basics here. Let's get it right the first time. Let's build on this. And I think really this class architect, this system that we have in place here is the system we're going with going forward. And I think it's healthier overall for the game.
I definitely agree. I mean, we're talking a little bit more about the system, and what's happening is there's some systems that you see, and then there's some systems under the hood that we need to do to allow us to give you more soon and properly, right? So we can add more things to the game far simpler than just having to patch it on top. So I think that that's a big pillar for us was let's make sure that we are building a solid foundation of experience to the player along with an experience to build on. So that's a really important part.
Speaking of experiences to build on, we've got the Hunter on deck first. Oh, look at that sexy skin, that OG skin. And so players are going to be like, I knew this was a cash grab. Look at that sexy skin. They're going to make me want to buy that. No, that is actually a skin you're getting for free called the OG skin. So good news, if you ever played Realm Royale, you will find that in inventory. We'll get into that a little bit later. However, we're talking about Hunter right now, and we've got Sean on deck right now playing with the Hunter. So first and foremost, we do have to talk about weapons first, though. Sean, if you can head over to the weapons. We are looking at longbow, the iconic longbow that is staying
now
in.
The hunt
And as live players know, that there is two issues with Hunter weapons. Right now, we have the Abalest on live, and that is a very strong weapon. So
if you're wondering, he does talk like this all the time.
So we have a dead weapon in the form of the crossbow on live, and nobody uses the crossbow. It is not good. And then we have the Arbalest that is very hard to balance. And we noticed that similar trend going across all different classes. So we said, again, let's get back to basics here. Let's figure out this balance rise. So
oh man, coming at you, bot style.
I'm gonna need a freeze AI stat on that. Sean throwing it down. He's like, oh no. Don't worry, we're doing it live, baby. We're doing it live.
One thing real quick though to mention is that each class has 2 weapons, right?
Yes,
class weapons.
Yeah.
So that's coming up.
Yes,
right?
so we went down to 2 class weapons here, and with the idea that we're going to be adding more class weapons, more abilities. So
nice job.
The hunter's weapons are going to be the crossbow. It's going to feel drastically different than you guys are used to it. It's going to be the tracking weapon, and of course you've got the iconic longbow. So those 2 weapons, if Sean knows where a crossbow is, he can go ahead and show it off a little bit. However, he is going to be rocking that longbow, and we're going to get into that. So, starting with the weapons with a Hunter, those 2 weapons, and of course, we're going to go back and say, maybe it's dual-wielding crossbows. Maybe it's something. What does the community want when it comes to Hunter weapons? And that is what I'm excited to see coming down the line. But that leads us nicely into the abilities. Adam, I'm going to be honest with you. There is a meta right now on live when it comes to specifically Flare. That is not healthy for our game. Vision has always been way too easy to get onto the other people. And it's not good. It's generally a very toxic meta right now. So not only do we have to go class by class, but also kind of utility / system by system. And so for the Hunter, you're going to be able to use Flare. Flare now actually starts its cooldown on projectile explode. So if you shoot it into the ground, that cooldown will instantly start. However, if it's in the air, the cooldown will not start until the actual expiration of that projectile itself. And for people out there, you might notice if you get a Flare or Vision on you as an enemy or a character, you will understand when you're under vision now, and that is so important.
Yes.
So in a sense here, let's say Sean, I'm fighting against Sean right now, and Sean hits his Flare out there and he hits me with it. I will have a little golden orb above my head telling me I'm under the effects.
Yeah,
vision.
you can see actually in the distance there that player does have it even.
Yes, good call on that. That leads us into, we've got iconic abilities that you know from Realm Royale. We've got the proximity trap. Oh, and the grapple hook. Oh my gosh, Sean's just excited. He's like, let me get right into that thing. I love it. So we're gonna get into that in a second. There we go. There's the hot grapple hook. You know what, Sean? Sean, this is your world, buddy. We're living into it. We're talking about the grapple hook here.
Yeah.
This has been a tremendous task force on us to get grapple hook right. To give a little bit of insight, I remember walking into Hi-Res Studios, day 1 of Realm Royale, and a developer was like, Thor, we're gonna have a grapple hook in our game. 3 years later, that dream was never realized. So it is I'm proud to announce that the Hunter has the grapple hook. I'm expecting a lot of hot 360s grapple hook shots as well as that. You can cancel it, you can shoot, you can go up. You have that verticality now. It's very, very, very good. Very good.
The fog sets in.
I think the flip side of that too is what we want to do is make these characters feel more like the characters you're picking, right? So we wanted, that was a big change too. Make sure that they stay on theme as much as possible.
Yeah.
And to get that feel out was to really just make sure, wow, is it fun now to play a hunter? Everybody is like, oh my gosh, this is the best, you know? So I feel like just using these movement abilities was one of the key components to making a character feel right for their class. So I feel like bringing the grappling hook in was just right on.
Yeah, it was
right
it was funny because internally we got feedback like the grapple hook is so fun. Can it be a universal ability? And we're like, no, like this is just the standard now for new abilities. This is fun. This is awesome. Let's balance. Let's get it out the door. That leads us into the grapple hook. Obviously, there's more things we got to do to make it tighten up a little bit. And that's, again, this is the first step here.
But again, it's phase one of these things, and it's like it's just so great when we push something as strong as a grapple hook and as fun as a grapple hook. Instead of making it universal, we go, no, let's think of something more fun, better for the other classes that kind of keep matching it. So we keep pushing ourselves to bring you something new, as opposed to just going, just give it to everybody. It's like that lets us keep improving the game and pushing the fun like all the time.
Of course, and going back to really the class fluidity here, and if Sean wants to pick up a blast arrow, if he wants to pick up another ability, he can choose what goes into his 2 slots now. That movement slot is locked. However, it's now up to him to say, you know what, let me put that Lightfoot potion into my other ability slot. Let me use that. I want to be a very mobile hunter, right? And that's the kicker there. He can choose what goes into the slots as long as it's a hunter ability or a movement ability. But that kind of wraps
Oh, sorry.
up.
Actually, you said a movement ability. You mean universal ability.
Way to catch me
yeah,
flat
no,
on my
I mean,
feet.
because this is clear. We're trying to get some new nomenclature out there because it's going to be different for old players. So we're still learning them too, right? And
No,
so,
I
so
know.
It's totally
I guess
great.
I'm an idiot.
But it's just really fun to be able to customize those 2 ability slots now, because it really allows you to tweak your experience just a lot better per match.
You want to play mobile hunter? Go play mobile hunter. You want to do an offensive hunter, explosive trap, and blast arrow? Go ahead and rock that. You want to be? I want to put a little dodge roll in there. Put a little dodge roll in there. This is your world. We're just living it. We're creating it. Awesome. And that leads us right into what the mage.
You're going on a mage? Yes.
Yes.
This is a good one.
Mage. That was one of our problem childs when it came to classes. And so Mage has really been a hodgepodge of other abilities, whether it was the Gronks from Paladins, the Ghost Walk, Fireball used to be a thing, is no longer a thing, Ice Wall was a thing, and so honestly Mage has suffered both thematically and design-wise over the years of Realm Royale. She has been kind of propped up by a very strong stone staff. However, what I'm very excited to share with everybody here is that our first step was to fix it from a thematic perspective. Say, okay, yes, let's make a mage feel more like a mage. So going forward, and we're going to show you in game, the mage is going to have Fire Staff and Ice Staff. And again, this is our first pass on it, but this was huge. This, shout out to Sean out here. We sat down, and within like a couple days, we we're like, hey,
I mean, it's amazing.
Sean is actually a wizard when it comes to this kind of stuff. So the Fire Staff, and for the people on live, and I don't want to go too deep into our history of Realm Royale, you're going to be shooting those mini fireballs, and it's going to be very reminiscent of what is currently Ice Staff here. But now it's Fire Staff. It's going to have fire effects, so we're going to put a little bit of fire, a little chef's kiss on that Fire Staff.
Kind of felt that way from the beginning, right? She's reloading, you're feeling the fire in her hand. It just works. It just feels so much more mage.
Exactly. Explosive fireballs, AoE, very iconic to what the mage is. And then if you switch over to the Ice Staff, you're going to see that Ice Staff now, ice shards at your target. That's going to be your 3-round burst. It's going to be very similar to what you players understand as Stone Staff is live for those current live players. But it was really saying, okay, let's fix these classes, these weapons, let's get these iconic. And it's a small, subtle shift, but it is a shift that makes the game feel better overall, specifically for the mage class.
Yes, that again goes into, does this feel enough? We're going to constantly be checking ourselves, like, does this feel enough like a class? Because it's so easy to branch off. Because there's so many cool things to make in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, whoop, you got to keep them focused, get the cool things for where they really deserve to go. We also see, obviously, she's got her sword. That's still there.
Yes. So she is going to have the sword, and it's actually kind of interesting. This sword is one of the best abilities on live right now. And we are going to be going back to the drawing book saying, how can we spice up sword a little bit? Because all the other classes have got a little bit of love when it comes to their movement ability. But sword is still great, still iconic to the mage. But look out, because we're definitely taking a hard look at how to make sword that much more special. But switching right over to the abilities, we've gotten feedback both internally and externally. It's like, hey, it's not a mage unless she has a fireball, and we agreed. Right. Fireball's coming back, baby. Those big fireballs. Now, it's not going to be a 900 fireball on a 4-second cooldown. I know you savages out there remember that. That is not going to be what we bring into the game. We're still looking at a pretty hard-hitting fireball with a little bit of dot damage on the end of it. It's going to be that 1-2 punch that you guys remember back in the day. But again, fireballs, goodness gracious, great balls of fun.
Great.
So it's going to be one of those things you have to wait and see. You guys will see it on live right now. but fireballs are going to be very iconic. Going through the list here as we go down, and if you guys want to switch back to the main couch, we're going to have Ice Block. Ice Block is back. Ice Block is cancelable now, so that is an iconic thing for players to remember. You know, Matt, if you were a sniper or an assassin rather, and you went to go shoot me, I could block the first shot with the Ice Block, cancel it, go right back into fighting, right? Kind of have that high use case, high skill cap ceiling of the Ice Block. That's back, as well as Flask of Healing. And again, this goes back to the thematic issues with the Mage. Potions, flasks, that is very in the wheelhouse of a Mage. Healing Station was, quite frankly, I have no idea what that was. Was it a hookah? Was
That's
it a
okay.
pump?
We're working it out. We're working it out, right?
But is that, so Healing Station is a universal ability, but Flask of Healing is now a Mage ability, and it's going to actually play a little bit like Aspire from old school Realm players that used to know that ability. It's going to give you a burst of healing. You can still hit your enemies, your allies rather, or yourself. Going to give you that big burst of healing and kind of get you on your way. So, and if you want to play a defensive mage or a support mage, double up on the healing. Just double up and say, hey, Healing Station and the Flask of Healing, if that's going to be one of your play style. If you want to play offense, it's going to be there for you as well. But I'm looking forward to mages. I think they're going to be they're gaining for that top spot. However, and we'll get into this a little bit later on, mages are still on the block for some new fun things. So we'll talk a little bit like that. Talked a little bit about that later on. But that kind of wraps up the mage, and that brings us to the one true class, the all hail the assassin. Assassin's back, baby. Assassin's back. Ooh, assassin. So
He likes the assassin.
I do, but internally, and you will vouch for me.
We all love it. It's so much fun,
I haven't
you know?
made the assassin broken. I know everybody expected me to make the assassin broken because it was my class, but I haven't. That's kind of like I'm not. Yeah, trust me. Just trust me. It'll work out. So first and foremost, going into the weapons here, very much of the case in live, there is again dead weapons. Both the heirloom is le garbage on live. That's French for garbage, everybody. And so we had to go back to the heirloom, and say, hey, let's get this thing right. We increased the reload speed on it. We made the damage. Really, we took slug as like, okay, this is a slug rifle. This is the heirloom, right? Where are these two weapons shining most here? Let's kind of get to them to where if you're using an heirloom from short to short mid range, you're hitting your shots. Heirloom's gonna be the one you're gonna want to take. Slug from mid to mid long. Okay, that can be kind of comparison there. So I think you guys are gonna like it. It's back, baby. Heirloom's back. It has that pretty tight reload speed and the best. I honestly think the best reload animation in the game. It has that nice whoosh. So that's back, and of course the assassin's sniper rifle. We fixed the reload bug on it, so the reload bug's fixed. We're still going to be working with some of the sniper rifle in general, but it's going to be a little bit of a faster bullet speed. It's going to have that nice reload that actually scales with rarity, so that is a kind of like a nice little quirk with the assassin in general. It does have that sniper rifle that is so iconic and so hard hitting from long distances. You're still going to be, quite honestly, the best class at long distance with that sniper rifle. And because we went back to class blocking, the sniper rifle is iconic to the assassin, and so he's going to be able to use that role much better than any other classes. However, going into this, later on, we'll talk about another long distance weapon coming down the pipeline. You're going to be able to play. Ooh.
You gotta stick around to find out.
I'll stick around next time on Realm Royale, baby. But going back to the assassin here, Sean's throwing out the decoy. Decoy is the next
one of the funnest, if that's a word.
Yes. No, on today's show, use whatever your word you want. Yes, decoy is in. It's going to give you a burst of speed. It's going to give you invisibility for a little while. And it's going to confuse your enemies. This is good. This is one of those things where good players are going to make use to it. It doesn't have that high skill cap ceiling. Very fun, very awesome, very iconic, and so.
It also shoots your player, the enemy too, right? It will shoot and act just like the player, but
it
just stands in spot.
It does.
That's the only thing it doesn't do is run around.
Yeah, it does not run around, so go around a corner, throw it down, in the air, throw it down, use it to kind of get away. Actually, can soak up a shot for you. It's not a lot of health. It does have about 600 health. And don't worry, I know what some people might be thinking. Great, Thor, you added another turret in the game. Don't worry, it only does 50 damage a shot, so it's not going to be clapping cheeks out there. It's going to be a decoy for sure. But on the note to Assassin, kind of wrap it up a little bit here, his concussion bomb does move him by default. And players will have to experience that in game. That was a talent in the old talent system. We'll get into that as well. Concussion grenade will move you as a default thing now. So some of those moves that you guys were used to from old school Realm Royale, that is going to be back here. That's going to be good to go. You'll remember that. And so that means blink has always been a very utility. So concussion, a grenade push to a blink. You're going to be very mobile, very agile, and very much what an assassin is. Rounding that out, we have smokescreen still in. We have decoy that has the same exact changes as what Flare does. Again, not decoy, how sensor drone was leading to, again, issues with the visibility meta. So we kind of said, hey, you know, if you have a sensor drone on you, you're going to get a purple dot above your head, leading the players to know when they're under vision, and of course, making it so. We didn't really bring that polarity up, though, because Flare was so much better in every single situation. Sensor drone will unveil the whole entire team, much like Flare does. So depending on what the meta is, you know, you can bring the assassin or the hunter for whatever the situation calls for. But that kind of wraps up the assassin. We've got some cool things in the pipeline coming for the assassin. I'm excited for it. Guys, let me see what you guys bring to the forefront with the assassin playstyles. I'm excited.
That's the best part. Is like let's see what you do with it.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's why we're ready to share. It was not 100% done because like I said, we're not done, but we're ready to share, and that's the best part.
And I've been very light-handed when it comes to the assassin. Everybody, I was like, okay, patch 1, I'm not gonna go ham. Patch 2 though, it's ham.
Watch out! And it's going full on ham.
Not
full on chicken. Not full on chicken. Come on, it's right. It's just hanging out in front of you.
In-air sniping potentially coming back. I'm pushing real hard. I need people to make Reddit posts and be like, we want it back. And then everybody screaming at everybody else. But that's assassin. That leads us into our last and final class. The one, the only warrior. The warrior. Warriors, come out and play. Warriors. My other problem child. So Warrior was a case of both thematic issues and design issues, and I think I could hear the Warrior players quaking in their seats and being like, "You did what? With my what?" So long live the king. Hail to the king, baby. The Warrior had to. Number one, Warrior was another case of abilities afforded to the Warrior that didn't make. Afforded to the Warrior where it didn't make sense. Healing Shout being an example.
Exactly,
Bolstering Shout. Healing Shout was actually a paladin ability that was never quite finished, but they're like, hey, we need something to the Warrior. Get on in there. Get on in there.
Got to make it work back in the day. You know what I mean?
Indeed, and I don't fault them for that. However, it didn't really make sense. Bolstering Shout, Commanding Shout, like that, okay, I can understand that. But Healing Shout? Coupled with the talent system that was very toxic, where you pretty much just locked in Healing Shout and had a get out of jail free card.
Right.
So we had to take steps in order to make sure the class felt good thematic-wise, saying, okay, if we're going to add abilities, let's make sure we nail this from a thematic perspective. But also understanding what the balance is for the Warrior, because as we'll get into, the Warrior has a big balance issue when it comes to the axe. I know it, you know it, people on Reddit and Discord are afraid to say. The axe is way too strong. The amount of axes in this game is way too high. However, the other class weapons were really just, number one, they paled in comparison, and they really didn't have the programming and love afforded to those weapons. So going further into Realm Royale's Reforged patch was that, all right, let's get the axe into a good position, right? It's not going to be the axe that you know and love doing 1,150 damage. Like, it's not going to be that. It's still going to be one of our hardest hitting weapons, but it's going to have a little bit less range. It's going to be coming off the hand a little faster, right? But it's not going to. So on live right now, Matt, you actually reach all the way back. You reach all the way back. You grab the axe and you throw it, leading to a very slow axe, hard hitting axe, but slow axe. So the idea here was to say, let's bring some of the damage down. Let's get that axe feeling good as well, but it's only gonna be doing right around 830 damage, still within the breakpoints that you guys know. But when combined with Enrage, it's gonna take that damage and kind of bring it over there. So I am still worried about the axe. I feel like it's gonna be very strong, especially early game. Ooh, he's hitting that Enrage. He's hitting that Enrage.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I know, we'll get excited.
What do we stick with for his second weapon?
Great question.
If you're ready to talk about that.
The sword of I call it the sword of Omans because this has been an absolute nightmare to try to balance. So we vaulted the hammer. We have some pretty good ideas for the hammer moving down the line. Maybe other classes, maybe other variations to be determined. But the hammer and the axe always overshone the hammer, right? And in order to try to like fit the hammer into the meta or try to make it worthwhile, we just honestly, quite frankly, ran out of time, and we didn't have the proper resources there. So we vaulted.
It was also same but different. So like you really said, it was too close, and then you always pick the axe. So
exactly.
Why stick around?
That left us with a sword, and sword is it makes me sad. I think down the line we can go back to the sword and say, hey, how do we make this a fun, interesting gameplay element here? Melee in general has always been a crux to us, and saying, okay, what can we do with melee? And so this isn't that patch. So you will be seeing the sword. Now, going back to the Warrior here, he does have the new shiny heroic leap. You're going to have a little bit more movement afforded to you. You're going to be able to get a little bit farther. Harder, better, faster, stronger was always the underlying theme when it came to our abilities. So you will notice how heroic leap does feel a little bit better here. However, if you want to put charge in your inventory, do it. Go put charge in the inventory. If you want to put Enrage in your inventory, you want to be more of a tanky warrior, go Enrage, Shielding Shout. We did a lot of improvements with Shielding Shout as well to make it easier to put an application on. It lasts a little bit longer. There was a bug on live right now causing white Shielding Shout to be just stronger than every other. So we said, hey, let's increase the rarity, the shielding per rarity as well, so that it feels good. And going back to Heroic Leap for a second, we wrapped Brutality into the ability itself.
Exactly,
And
yes.
that was important. Saying, okay, Brutality is a thing for the warrior here. Let's make it scale versus rarity. Let's take these cooldowns down. And we'll talk about cooldowns in general when it comes to the mastery and loadout and talent situation. But swinging back to the warrior there for a second, sword, you will be able to make use of a sword. It's not going to be, I think, as viable as that axe is. I think axe is going to be the utilitarian weapon when it comes to the warrior. However, give us some time, guys. We will get it right. And we are already theory crafting and already got kind of in conception here what is coming down the pipeline for the warrior. Very excited.
Yes.
But that is not a this patch thing. That's a soon patch thing. But transitioning over to the abilities, however, that leaves us with one more, and that is the net shot. Net shot has seen better days online. Nobody usually runs it, and so one of the cool quirks about net shot right now is going to slow down the enemy. However, if you catch a mage or a hunter in the middle of the use of the ability, let's say a mage is soaring at you and you see them flying at you, hit them with a net shot. That net shot is going to actually drag them downward. It's going to interrupt their ability, catch them flat-footed, and you'll be able to make a play off of that. So net shot is back. Give me some feedback on net shot here, and let me know how you guys like it, because quite frankly, I'm excited to see some of the net shot plays coming out. So wrapping out the warrior here, you've got Heroic Leap, you've got net shot, you've got your shielding shout, and you've got your enrage.
Yeah.
And I guess we can end with what makes enrage so special. Enrage is going to increase your attack speed by up to 30%. It's going to give you 5% more damage on use, and of course, it's going to give you lifesteal, is what I wanted to say. Whew, caught me live. So we wanted to remove healing shot because it wasn't thematic anymore.
Right.
But that left us with a hole in the playstyle saying, hey, now go earn your lifesteal. That is important. Go earn your health back. It's not a fire and forget. You're going to jump in there, you're going to hit your enrage, you're going to steal the health from your enemies. And that is, of course, more thematic to the warrior.
Absolutely. Which is what we always like to do.
Yeah, awesome. That leads us into really... He's showing off that enrage. There we go. Shot hitting someone enraged there. Oh, look at that little fire effects. Great job with the particle effects, everybody, and just making that happen. So if you see a warrior burning with the intensity of 1,000,
keeping the communication, the player, and your enemy in the forefront, so everybody knows what's going on, so you can tweak your play as you go. That's such a huge thing that we're really trying to get across here. But yeah, there's not just new stuff for the classes, right? We have different universal stuff to talk about, which is exciting for sure.
Yes, so honestly, Sean, you're on it, buddy. We're introducing two new things when it comes to the universal pool. So the universal pool is, of course, things that anybody can pick up. They're not going to be tied thematically to any one class. They're going to be things that you know and love, that you've seen, that anybody can pick up. One is going to be the Lightfoot potion. As you can see, the foot. Hit me with a jump, Sean. Hit me with a hot jump. Hot dang.
What's happening? Are
So,
those wings on your feet?
that is wings. That is wings on your feet. And so I pushed very hard to have a very silly tune on the as you had it. Obviously, copyright. Don't get us copyright. But yes, we want to put some wings on there. We wanted to throw some. It's called the Lightfoot potion. It's going to make you jump higher, run faster. Very good for mobility. Very good mobility. It's going to get you to those places where you need to go. And of course, if that's your intention of getting to playing more of a mobile class, right?
Absolutely.
And you can put it on your allies. You can also, and I hate to say this out loud because I don't know how long it's going to last, you can actually stack them. So if you and your friends are all rolling up with the Lightfoot potions, internally and externally, we're like, this is so fun. It might be a little broken, but we got to keep it.
We got to see what happens. See what happens.
Exactly. But it's very fun, very awesome, and I think we nailed it when it came to the funness, right? And so that was also, Realm Royale Reforged. When we introduce a new ability, is it fun, right? And then it falls on to kind of my shoulders, is it balanced? And so it's gone through a couple iterations here. I think we kind of landed on a great, good version. But that leads us correctly into the auto sniper rifle. Talk to us.
Actually, one thing I wanted to jump back for classes real quick, if we could, is that we did add another thing. Class chests.
Ooh, we did.
I think that maybe for classes you can talk about that real quick, right?
Yes.
What the heck is a class chest?
What is a class chest? So, with adopting old school Realm Royale principles, it came with a lot of hurdles. And one of those was saying, okay, if the classes are locked to what they can use plus universal abilities, we needed to target something economically for you as a player to be able to say, okay, I'm going to open this chest and get these things out of this chest that is specifically for me. This is targeted early game. This fixes a lot of shenanigans. Thank you, Sean. He's making his way over to a class chest. First and foremost, I noticed, and a lot of other players noticed, that economically speaking, it was very weird meta, where they would do what's called the train, and they would follow behind each other, And if it was trios in particular, and especially for competitive, they would go and try to loot, but at all three be in a line. And what would end up happening is they had 4 shards on the one player, and the other players would not have really loot at all. They would have white slug, green slug, and then they would get into a fight and eventually get the kind of loot they needed. But we definitely saw a need for some economy stimulus for the actual abilities and weapons themselves. So this is going to be very important for the first minute to 2 minutes of a gameplay. Find those class chests. Those are going to have your green versions of your weapons in there. They are very much balanced for early game, so let me be very clear. They're not going to be as powerful as the purples or the legendaries, of course. And those green weapons and class chests are going to be, again, what you use in order to get to that forge. On top of the other benefits, like I mentioned, this is also going to be a way for new players to find out what is their class abilities, what is their class weapons, which is so important.
Yeah, find out along the way in game. We love that kind of stuff, right?
Exactly. And so, for all intents and purposes, early game new players, they don't know that the fire staff or ice staff is actually afforded to the mage. They just don't know that because they haven't gone to a forge. They don't know the forge mechanics. And so, really, what those green class weapons are doing is easing those new players into that scenario. So, Sean is showing off the universal weapon called the auto sniper rifle. That is a long distance weapon, slower projectile speed, 3 rounds. We're gonna actually be tweaking a little bit of the scope and some of the sounds here. It's not finalized. However, that's gonna be because we locked the sniper rifle to the assassin themselves. This is going to be a way for you, the player, to get into the mix of long-range combat without taking away that class identity from the assassin, right? The assassin still is going to shine in that role. Let's be very clear here. However, you will be able to punch upwards with that universal sniper rifle, auto sniper rifle rather, and that is our first 2 forays into new class abilities, a universal class ability and universal class weapon, with many more to come.
Yeah, one thing you can tell in the UI now too, when something else is back, is the red X symbol above something that is just you can't use.
Yeah.
Right. Your team could probably use it, but you just are not able to. It's another way we're trying to communicate to you guys. Hey, this isn't for you.
Yeah.
Shard it if you want to. Hey, teammate, I got a XYZ here. You want it? Nope. Cool. Sharding it. Kind of go in that approach. So.
Yes. Yeah. Whew. There's been a lot
man.
of
That's a little bit of change so far.
Yeah, just a little.
And we're only 1/10 of the way through.
That is not true. We're farther than that. Yeah. Don't sign me up for a long trip. I'm kidding. We got a game to run. We got things to do.
Yeah, right. Come on. I want to go play.
So that leads us into the next big pillar when it comes to loadouts, mastery, talents, all that kind of shenanigans. And so, this was another huge change. So.
Giant pillar, because of all the changes we wanted to do, we were sort of fracturing that pillar that was in the older realm. So we had to make sure that we split them apart properly to make sure that it wasn't like too weak. So why don't you go ahead and tell them what you did, man?
I like what you did.
It's like, and then what did you
Thor?
do, man? Well, because we had this idea, and then we pitch out the vision, and Forrest is like, we'll do this. We got this. So,
yes. So let's talk about what players love. Players love loadouts. Players love being able to say, hey, I love this playstyle. I want to guarantee that playstyle, right? So loadouts are not changing. The only thing about loadouts that are changing is the fact that you can go into your loadout and say, I want a sniper rifle if you're playing the assassin. I want my decoy, and I want my concussion bomb. When I go to my forging game, that will still be the stale. It'll still be the thing.
It'll still be there.
I'm down south in Atlanta.
Like I said, he does this all the time. I don't know who you are. I have no idea. I just met you today.
That'll still be a thing. So loadouts not changing, and in fact, you'll see that reflected in your class forge when you go to a forge. What is changing is both talents and mastery. So let's start off with the great, and then go into the good, and then amazing. So cooldowns across the board are getting lower, and this is something that just frustrates me on live right now. You pick up a ability and it has a 45-second cooldown. That really grinds my gears. I hate it. You hate it. We all hate it. We all hate for ice cream. So going forward, if you look at the talents, oftentimes those talents are afforded to you. It's like 50% cooldown reduction, 35% cooldown reduction, right? And the bad thing is it's more of a carrot and a stick. Like you can have this really shiny thing over here that empirically makes the ability stronger, but if you choose that, you can't do it because it's 50% longer on that cooldown. So I went talent by talent by talent by talent by talent and wrapped a lot of those cooldowns and little shiny nuggets back into the actual abilities themselves. And so this was
that is a huge endeavor. So like, when we say that the abilities may have changed or gotten better or whatever, he took what was great about the talent system, everything we had there, and jammed it back into the game day one, right? That's a huge fact, I think. Is like you didn't have to wait to get this great fun play experience, right? Where like day one, you have it there. It's just the ability is just that way now.
Yeah.
And I think that that's great. That's just something I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I think it makes day one gameplay better. And that was another thing that the talent system kind of was a very negative not only to new players, but veteran players had that intrinsic knowledge of what was afforded to you through the talent system that made them better players. Inspire, as an example. And so that sucked as a new player. You'd come in and you'd get clapped, and you're like, why? And it's like, not only do the players know the game inside and out for the last, I don't know, 2 years on the same exact patch, but they also have the those talents and abilities and loadouts afforded to them that you just can't have as a new player. So going forward, talents are no longer a thing. We may wrap that back in a fun, cool, unique way, but talents are no longer gone. They are wrapped back into the abilities themselves, lower abilities, and also when Jim Bob comes to play the game, they're like, well, I can't play the longbow because I got to put 80 hours into it. You tell him, hey, Jim, go ahead and load up that longbow in your loadout. You're good. So that's great for new players.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about the loadout a little more and how it's going to connect with the Forge?
Maybe
not yet.
We touched on that a little bit. So
Yeah.
what you choose in the loadout will be in your class Forge. So you go into the game, you say, hey, I want my combat ability 1. Remember, because your movement abilities won't change, it can only be upgraded, you will no longer see your movement ability in the Forge in the class section. Now you can upgrade it by going over to the Forge, and upgrading it is actually the shortest amount of time. So we did kind of do across the board changes of the Forge. We'll get into that. But hit that upgrade on your movement ability in the Forge, and it's going to be a very 15 seconds instead of the now normalized 30 seconds. But that's no longer in the loadout system. That is your iconic movement ability, but you'll have combat ability 1 and combat ability 2. It's up to you to decide what you bring into combat on the loadout page.
Absolutely. That's great.
And that leads us into the mastery system. Hi-Res Adam, tell me, what are we doing with the mastery?
So we called it mastery before, and this was a mix of all these different things. And once we pulled a lot of that out, there wasn't a whole lot left there, right? So we've designed
Are
a new
you telling
system.
me titles? Well, it's not the bee's knees. Are you telling me that thing you could never see in game? You're getting rid of that? You know who to send your complaint mails to, right here, everybody. Right there. That's the guy right here.
Yes, actually send it to me. No, so what we wanted to do is redefine what mastery could mean moving forward. So we have that system that is on the table for sure. But what we're delivering for launch right now is still a way to play a specific class and get progression through that class and get some goodies along the way.
Yeah.
Really, that's what the phase 1 sort of this is. And we plan on having that move forward to the future class, future mastery system, which will be more dedicated to actually also teaching you how to be a better, more pro player. So we wanted mastery to mean you have mastered this. So it's going to really mean something when you get that 100% or you filled in one of the abilities or the weapons through your playing and the things that were required to do so. But yeah.
So that is coming in 2.0. That is the design. I've seen what you've been working on in the Forge internally in the internal Forge, and that's looking absolutely amazing.
But right now you'll be able to play as a specific class, get certain EXP towards, like I said, some shiny stuff.
Yes.
We want to go from there. So.
That hot little master, that season 1 mastery team. Big shout out to the Smite design team for telling us about this in the last hour, and I have to piggyback on this for a second. Again, this comes back to how proud I am of the team. Right, this was in the final hour. We were like, okay, we've ripped out all the important parts of mastery system. Right, put that back into our game, the loadouts, the talents, the abilities, and all that kind of stuff. And this was the final hour. We were like, okay. We're done. Let's lock it up. Let's get this to patch out. And then we had some internal feedback from very special people and external people at the ODP that said, Thor, this doesn't feel good.
Something's missing.
Yeah, something's missing. Let's give them something more, right? And so not only have we given you more skins, not only have we given you more items and avatars and sprays and stuff like that, we said, hey, let's show them what we're capable of. And so at the last hour, we put in a lot of I don't want to say overtime, but it was overtime.
We're getting it done.
We're getting it done, baby.
We got it done,
And so we put this 1.5 system in here. As you go through the track here, you'll be able to unlock a skin at the very end that is iconic to the class here. Very excited to show that off. And I just got to say, from a player perspective and knowing what I know on the internal and then being able to divorce myself from a player / a designer developer, you guys rocked it. You guys really did. This is a final hour thing. You said, hey, what else can we give the player here? And so, and I know it might come off as self-praising. I'm not saying that because quite frankly, I didn't do the mastery system here, but I looked at what you guys came up with and I was like, hey, you guys definitely put the player first and foremost here, which was amazing. So yeah, good job.
Awesome.
Hats
Yeah,
off to
I
you
mean,
guys.
that's the biggest thing is we're trying to just give back as much. Like, just play. We just want you to play.
We just play.
And then, hey, this is what you got for playing. Thanks a lot. This is how we do this,
Oh yeah. So,
All right, so what we got?
that talks about additional features coming down the pipeline, my friend. I don't know, like a big fire-breathing dragon.
What are you talking about?
Oh, no, I don't know. Seth, can we get a bigger chair for these kind of things? I'm feeling it's not.
Can I have a smaller chair? Actually, would that be possible?
Yeah, there is
Like
a
falling.
there is a presence on our map here that we it's okay. You guys are gonna see it. There's a dragon.
Yeah.
We've seen Eternal Data and Stonks as the Twitch chat. Gonna get some kappas and clap in chat rather.
Yeah, what's with the dragon, man?
Our game has gotten exponentially better with the amount of dragons that we put in it. So we added one dragon, and our game got 100% better. And so the sky's the limit here. But we have some very fun things planned for this. This beast of a dragon. So
yeah, again, we're talking about the things we want to just deliver to you guys, and we want to share everything with you, but we're not going to share everything because we want to keep a little bit of mystery, a little bit of fun, a lot of the story stuff going on there, but we want to just give tidbits here and there for you to discover too, because that's a big part of it, right? That discovery feeling is so great. So keep your eyes out. That's
keep
what I
your
just have to say.
eyes open.
Yeah.
I think we talked about a rock that is just a rock until you approach it, and the rock lid kind of squeaks open.
Not
and
supposed to say that.
An AJ no, we got a lot of dumb ideas floating around. A lot of cool
I feel
things.
that's a great idea. It's a secret rock chest.
This is the rock. This is like a John there.
But anyway, yes, the dragon. Yes, it's certainly a thing, or is it?
All right. In case this starts to drag on here, let's get into
Yes.
a different aspect of our game, and that is about servers. I gotta tip my hat once more to the community. You guys came out every single time I put the it's server test, like the Horn of Gondor. You guys came out, and you guys seen improvements with the server. It's not perfect. Let me be very clear right now. It is not. It is
Again, another thing we're not done,
Yeah.
but it's better.
Yeah,
It's-
so we
it's
saw, like,
definitely-
you know, when you had 30 people, 20 people, right? It was not a playable experience. And we're gamers. We know. I'm a gamer. We know, right? And I've always said from the very beginning, even before I was on the team here, I was like, hey, we got to get that. Servers are number one, right?
Yes.
So our performance team has done leaps and bounds. They've worked on it hard. We've gotten better servers into our fleet here. We're going to have actually a write-up really discussing exactly what that means, how we're making improvements going forward. Very proud of that team. We're not done yet. We are not done yet. And
we're still thrilled with what we got.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
that's the best part. It's like we're looking to the future so much, but we're also still thrilled with right now. Like
Yeah.
what it is it's. I'm just so excited with all of the support too from every angle of the studio. Really, just
Yeah, especially
giving,
internally.
just knowing, yes, you feel like I support you. Let's go with this. So
Yeah,
it's just fantastic.
As a thank you to you, the community, look underneath your chair. You're gonna find about 100 crowns. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't blame that on me.
I don't get them. We
No, not
don't
you.
ever get this
Especially not
stuff.
how
We
I
don't
read
get
that,
this stuff.
But again, this is a work in progress, guys. Please be patient with us. And of course, on today of all days, launch date, it's
Yes.
probably gonna be on fire. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
It's probably,
yeah.
it's probably
It's
you know
like,
what I mean? When I hit this button to go live, it's probably gonna break. But we are
Studio
aware of it.
down.
We're tracking it. Constant communication with you guys, and thank you. Just out of the bottom of my heart, thank you, because it's a
Absolutely.
lot better. So let's talk about thank yous by
Yeah,
giving
come
them an OG bundle. Hashtag not a cash grab.
What a segue.
Whoa, what a segue, my friend. We're getting back into it. You
Yes,
know,
absolutely.
Content creator. Ooh, oh my lord, look at that, man. They're shiny. They got gold on them. Holy. This is the OG bundle, everybody. Yes, you too can rock the OG bundle if you played one game of Realm Royale in the past. You are what we describe as an OG, and you're going to wake up like a Christmas morning coming down the stairs, and you're going to find that amazing skin waiting for you. But that's not all. You're going to get a chicken skin. Oh, look at, you're going to get a little robot OG. And then, of course, you're going to get an avatar. Look at that little avatar for one of each of the classes
the
there.
class of your choice. Whichever you choose.
Saying you're an OG. You did it. You stuck with us. And then, of course, let's look at that OG loading screen. You're going to be able to throw that into the game as well.
Come on, it's beautiful.
How you doing? Good to see you. And last but not least, of course, we've got the spray. The spray. I'm trying to hold together here with that spray. What it says. How did we get that through in our game? Yeah, there's gonna be a spray. Go ahead and check that out. I think it might not be the most used spray in our game. Go ahead and just show that off when you guys get in game because it's gonna be a real fun spray. Here we go.
There you go. Good
Twitch
game.
chat. Twitch chat.
GG, baby.
There's a YouTube video. Get something. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Let's get out of here because there was walking that line between having fun and design and getting sent to HR. Oh, look at that cute.
What is this? That is adorable.
This is Forge and Fire, baby. So those were for the OGs. This is for the current, the present, the new faces here. This is for anybody actually who's playing
Yeah.
our game. This will be coming down the pipeline during this patch here. We don't know exact timing on when it's going to be launched, but if you play the game between now and this date, you're going to be afforded to you the Forged and Fire bundle. Not only are you going to get this cute little Phoenix chicken skin that is staring into the very depths of my soul and knows exactly what I have on my computer tabs that scares me. You're also going to be able to get some community-based artwork here. Shout out to you, Pandream. Ooh, came in hot with those sprays and avatars.
Absolutely. That's such a great thing too, right? I mean, what a better way to to involve the community.
Yeah.
It's
She
fantastic.
did an absolutely great job on that one for sure. And we got a couple other things sprinkled in there. But again, these are going to be things afforded to players at no cost to you, or at the very least, it could be like a £5 cost because it's very cheap. But yeah, excited about that. It was a way to us to take a step back and say thank you. I mean, the reason why I'm here, the reason why you're here is because of you, the community. At the very least, we could give you guys this. And because, yeah, throughout the whole tapestry that is Realm Royale Reforged, you guys are the threads. You guys are the binding connections here with us. And so
Absolutely.
lets us do what we do. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to be in this seat, getting yelled at by my team and you guys. And I love it. I love it, what I get to do for sure.
Every day, baby. It's great.
So
right.
we've updated you about the game. Let's update you on the updates coming down the pipeline here. Realm Royale. This is not a case. Realm Royale Reforged, rather. This is not a case of, hey, cool, you dropped something and see you later. Ooh, dabbing out of here and we'll never see you again. Dad, come back to the store, please. This is not one of those cases. Camera 3. I don't think if you have a camera 3, we'll add that in post. So we are shooting for a 6-week update cadence and patch by patch by patch, giving you guys what you like. This is the time and the position here to you guys to scream at us. By scream, I mean very cordially tell us what you guys like and don't like. This is the dialogue that you mentioned earlier, Matt, where it's like, hey, let's take a step back. Reforged means we're reforging it with you, right? Our game's not done, but it's open. We're opening the doors now to let you guys in on the creation process, right? And so we've kind of aligned on a 6-week update cadence here, but PTS.
Yeah.
PTS. We
Exciting.
have PTS. In the future, this is me talking the future, nailed it on the PTS Thor. Nailed it. So when I first joined it was like my first interview process, and they were like, Thor, what do you believe very strongly in? And I think some of the OG Realm Royale players will remember this. Our PTS cycle was not good. I would frankly say it was not good. And to me, a PTS has always been a very important dialogue. It's about building trust. It's about building, hey, what are you doing? And so what I envision a PTS for, and what the team has backed me from day one, has pushed very strongly for, and I'm very proud of it when I say this about my team, is that a PTS should be, Matt, I'm showing you what we worked on. You say, cool, Thor, and you're a massive community member in this case, and he says, what about X, Y, and Z? Could you tune this? Can you tweak that? And I say, you know what, Matt? You're right, buddy. You're right. Give me a couple days, and then we'll submit the build. And earlier PTS is where the build will be submitted, and if you don't know this, I know this is developer speak, but we now have built in a couple days, 4 or 5 days after we do a PTS, to make actionable changes on the build, and that is so important. I can't tell you how important that is. We're not going to be living in a world where it's like, hell yeah, hit scan, Pat, and all that, and like, we want to bake in the time and effort into doing a PTS, and for a small team like ours, and let me be very clear, that is a big ask. That's going to be blood, sweat, and tears when it comes to a PTS cycle. But I'm proud to say that my team is rising to the occasion here and saying, hey, we got this. We got this. Let's do this. Let's make a PTS cycle happen. And so you've already seen the first one. Going forward, when it comes to the updates, if we're shooting for a 6-week cadence, we need 12 days or so to do a cert process. So we're going to hopefully do a PTS, act on it, send it out. 6 weeks later, you're going to see it.
Absolutely. That's our scheduled plan right now,
That
right?
is.
But it's like, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, we'll see how everything goes.
Yes,
but we really,
yes.
our focus is make the game great.
Yes.
Make the game better moving forward. So if we got to do a little bit of shifts here and there, well, hopefully we'll be able to keep the game great.
Yeah. And I guess that gets us into really, not only did we talk about PTS, but a little bit of a shout out here. Not only because you guys obviously gave a lot of effort onto the PTS, gave us that kind of feedback. Time to talk about a group of individuals in the shadows, lurking. I have to do a quick little call out here to the what we are referring as the ODP. There's been a group of individuals from oh my gosh, it seems like a long time ago, that joined us on day one. These people were chosen based on a couple of criteria, but more importantly, they've put time and effort in here that has been unmatched.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, it's literally unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So I would say each and every single one of those members, and it's a very small group, probably about have 300 hours on a dev build. I'm going to ask you, as a community manager / designer to you, the community, please do not bother them. Please do not pester them. They are under NDA. But man, we've had nights after nights after nights of screaming at each other, arguing about whether a fireball should do 5 damage or 6 damage, right? And through the fires and flames of Realm Royale's Reforged, we have come out stronger because of that. So again, once more, I tip my proverbial hat to you, the ODP. This would not be possible without you. We will be making the call to open up that group once more, take applications and all that jazz, because again, that is the theme here, is bringing you guys in every step of the way. We got a lot of cool plans, a lot of hot stuff coming down the pipeline. But Matt, anything you want to sign off with?
Yeah, sure. I mean, one thing I want to say is that I feel like Realm Royale Reforged, but like Reforged in like passion. I think every team member of the ODP, whomever it is, people throughout all of High Res, like everybody is putting so much passion into this. Even their ideas, their time, their effort, their artistic skill, like everything. And I feel like that's like the best part about this is like everybody is pouring passion into this project again because there was something there, and we want to like revitalize that so much. So I'm so excited to be a part of that, and just for you guys to play and just let your friends play and just tell everybody about it. Best game ever.
I love it. I'll just wrap this up, everyone. First and foremost, this is our first step. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna argue with each other. We're you know what I mean? I'm not perfect. Nobody here is perfect. Okay. I ask you a couple things. Number one, let us make some mistakes. Let us dream a little bit, right? We are gonna make some mistakes, but we're gonna communicate those out. We're not gonna agree on everything, right? But we aren't responsible for the sins of our father. But man, we promise to give it our all. What I've seen over the last 3 months, has just been put into the grindstone, and I'm proud. I'm immensely proud of what my team has been able to do. When I say my team, I mean our team, but sports talk. That leads us into my second plea. Guys, this is our last best shot at this. So I'm speaking specifically to you, the sweaty players. There's going to be a lot of new players coming into our community. Think about very clearly what kind of player you want to be. Are you going to be the player that just says, get dunked on, right? Or are you going to be the player that says, hey, let me reach out my hand. Let's get you involved with the community. This is what this ability does. This is what this cooldown is. Because we know you're good. We know you're good. But please, guys, I'm asking you, almost quite frankly begging you to let's get these new players in. Let's introduce them to the game. Let's show them why Realm Royale is so special. Why it's managed to live on. And so we got a long road ahead of us.
Yes.
The development team, we're gonna shut up and get back to work. You know what I mean? That is our theme. That is our tempo. That is our heartbeat, right? And I'm excited for the future because it's gonna be one full of Realm Royale Reforged, baby.
Absolutely.
There it is. Well, that's it. Boop, servers are live. Get out there, go play, get good, and have fun. Shoot some, throw fireballs, do the grapple hook. Let me know how it feels.
Do all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Try it all once, at least one time.
Yeah. You'll find me on Twitter, of course, HighResThor/ThorDG. Of course, jump in our Discord, jump into all of our social medias. Make sure Realm Royale Twitter, you'll find that as well. You'll see me chime in once or twice there. And I look forward to the next adventure with you, the community, by our side. So, production team, play us out. We're out of here.
Yeah.
Get us out of here. We're done. Let's go play the video game.
Let's watch that. Let's watch that trailer again.
Oh, the trailer? I like it.
Hey,